Navigating the Mystery of Galleon and Against All Odds. The investigative trail begins with the highly anticipated announcement of Antoine's 2026 studio project, which currently carries the working titles of either Galleon or Against All Odds. For the elite Fantoine community in the USA, the question of whether this marks a return to classical roots or a pivot further into contemporary pop is the primary subject of debate. Our research indicates that the title Galleon was selected to represent a vessel going places and traveling through the water, a metaphor for an artist who has spent the last 3 years performing in diverse locations, from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, to the ancient amphitheater at Ephesus in Turkey. Conversely, the potential title Against All Odds serves as a defiant anthem for his personal journey. It highlights his endurance through childhood bullying and his 2022 autism diagnosis, proving he is still a major force in an industry that often discards reality TV stars. 1. Despite the classical roots rumors, current data from November 2025 suggests the tracklist will actually lean toward a sophisticated contemporary sound, breaking fresh ground with material vastly different from his earlier work. This project is a high-wire act of brand management. Antoine is attempting to bring his style further into the modern age without causing a whiplash effect for his loyal operatic base.
The 2026 album is designed to bridge the gap between his technical wizardry and the accessible emotional resonance found in modern ballads, ensuring that his American fans, who have pushed his net worth to an estimated $4 million, continue to see him as the premier tenor of the digital age. This investigation confirms that, while the voice remains classical in its power, the soul of the 2026 record is unapologetically modern. Greg Field and the Abbey Road Sessions. To understand the sonic depth of the 2026 release, one must look at the technical architecture behind the recordings. Antoine has once again teamed up with Grammy-winning producer Greg Field to ensure the album meets the highest audiophile standards. The recording process was a sprawling international effort, utilizing the hallowed halls of Abbey Road Studios in London, specifically Studio 2 and the Gatehouse, alongside United Recording and Real Songs in Los Angeles. But technical specifications of these sessions reveal Antoine's obsession with vocal purity. He almost exclusively utilized Neumann U67 and U87 microphones, which provided a vintage warmth while maintaining the modern sterility required for high-fidelity digital playback. This precision is what his vocal coach, Joy Mammon, describes as the ongoing maturation of an instrument that possesses a top C unrivaled by any other living tenor. The investigative team has also uncovered that Antoine used a supporter-funded home studio to capture magical stuff in very few takes before finalizing the tracks in major commercial studios. This independence allowed him to experiment with vocal layering across 3 time zones, with orchestral elements, often from the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, recorded separately from his lead vocals to ensure a pristine mix. For the US market, which prioritizes high production values, this meticulous attention to detail ensures that the 2026 album isn't just a collection of songs, but a masterclass in modern vocal engineering that aims to capture the waveforms of the human experience. Performance stamina for a global stage. Perhaps the most significant factor in the success of the 2026 roadmap is Jonathan Antoine's heroic physical reinvention. Having lost approximately 120 pounds, 54 kilograms, he has utilized his platform to advocate for a holistic approach to health that emphasizes longevity over aesthetics. Antoine has been remarkably candid about his struggles, admitting that his time living in fast food-loving America initially led to a terrible state of health before he committed to a life-changing, active choice. His transformation was built on 5 sophisticated pillars: a sustainable eating plan focusing on whole foods and lean proteins, a gradual exercise routine that evolved into strength training, a mindset transformation using positive affirmations, meticulous progress tracking via fitness apps, and a reliance on a strong support community. For American fans who saw him perform in cities like St. Petersburg, FL in 2021, the increase in his onstage stamina and confidence is the most noticeable professional benefit of this journey. This physical readiness is a strategic asset as he prepares for the grueling travel of a 2026 world tour.
Antoine notes that he feels stronger and healthier than he has in a decade, a status that allows him to deliver physically demanding arias like Nessun Dorma with a power that many critics compare to Pavarotti. This reinvention serves as a beacon of hope for his followers, proving that the same discipline he uses to master an operatic cadenza can be applied to reclaiming his personal health and vitality. By 2026, he isn't just bringing a new sound to the stage, he's bringing a new, invigorated persona. Neurodiversity as an artistic superpower. In 2022, Jonathan Antoine shared a personal revelation that would recontextualize his entire public persona, a formal diagnosis of autism at the age of 27. He described the realization as falling into a daydream, providing a long-awaited answer to the extreme bullying and social isolation he faced as a child. Antoine has since become a vocal advocate for neurodiversity, using the powerful metaphor of a matrix behind one's eyes to explain that every individual views the world through a unique filter or lens. This openness has resonated deeply in the United States, where mental health awareness is a major cultural priority. Antoine's message is simple but profound. Be kind and try to look through someone else's glasses. This vulnerability hasn't just humanized him, it has provided a deeper emotional layer to his music. His connection to the atypical experience is woven into his literary work, including his children's books, Jonathan the Porcupine and Jonathan and the Magical Cape, which are designed to help young readers build self-worth and navigate pure cruelty. As he gears up for 2026, Antoine stands as a cultural diplomat for the neurodivergent community, proving that a brain that works differently can also be the source of extraordinary talent. His diagnosis has allowed him to find relief and a greater sense of purpose, ensuring that his upcoming world stage presence is as much about social connection and empathy as it is about musical perfection. A milestone in international diplomacy. A major tactical move in Antoine's 2025 roadmap was his collaboration with Belgian tenor icon Helmut Lodi. The two powerhouses joined forces for a duet of the Neapolitan classic Cor Ingrato, a track released in November 2025 that has already seen significant chart activity in Europe and engagement from US audiences. The partnership began spontaneously in Antwerp, where Lodi personally visited Antoine's hotel to say hello, leading to an instant bond based on their shared autism experiences. Antoine describes the recording process in Belgium as completing a puzzle, where his mature tenor and Lodi's refined style merged into a magical unity. The collaboration extended beyond the studio, with a high-energy performance at Antwerp's Central Station that Jonathan recalls as having an electric atmosphere. This partnership is a key piece of his global diplomacy, expanding his international footprint ahead of his 2026 solo releases. For the American observer, this synergy highlights Antoine's ability to stand shoulder to shoulder with European legends, further validating his status as a youngest UK #1 classical tenor. The duet is featured on Lodi Goes Classic 30 Years Jubilee Edition, and its success serves as the perfect teaser for the mysterious and fun elements Antoine has promised for his upcoming 2026 album cycle. This collaboration proves that music is a miracle that creates a deep, complex, emotional link between people, even those separated by culture and geography. Shifting the paradigm of pop and opera. The investigative team has also pinpointed the influence of legendary American songwriter Diane Warren as a turning point in Antoine's contemporary direction. Their partnership began when Warren personally messaged Antoine on Instagram after being astounded by his voice. This led to the 2024 fan-funded project by request, the Diane Warren Songbook Volume 1, an album that reimagined Warren's iconic pop hits through a sophisticated classical lens. Working with Warren, who has written for everyone from Celine Dion to Aerosmith, gave Antoine immense mainstream credibility in the USA. The album features a powerful version of When I'm Back on My Feet Again, which Antoine describes as his most reflective track, and a rewritten version of the Celine Dion classic These Are the Special Times, featuring an Italian lyric specially crafted for him by Marco Marinangeli. This collaboration has effectively bridged the gap between his classical foundations and American pop royalty. Antoine has used the Artist Share project experience to give fans a direct view into this cross-continental creative process, a model that has fostered an intensely loyal following in North America. As he moves towards his 2026 album release, the Diane Warren endorsement remains his American passport into the highest circles of the entertainment industry, ensuring his upcoming contemporary tracks are viewed with the respect afforded to a world-class artist. Building a $4 million sovereign independent empire. Jonathan Antoine's roadmap to 2026 reveals a masterclass in modern business sovereignty. Eschewing the traditional major label model, he has built a financial powerhouse through Loki Records and Antoine Multimedia, now estimated to be worth approximately $4 million. His digital dominance is supported by a YouTube channel with over 64 million views, generating roughly $190,000 in ad revenue, while his Spotify profile attracts more than 50,000 monthly listeners through high-reach playlists. This economic autonomy is critical. By retaining his intellectual property rights and utilizing platforms like ArtistShare, Antoine has been able to fund high-concept productions, like the unboxing of a new vinyl test pressing in December 2025, without the interference of corporate gatekeepers. He remains managed by his mother and sister, Tracy and Charlotte, a small family bubble that has provided the stability needed to survive a decade in the public eye. For the investigative reporter, this financial independence is what allows him to reject quick fame in favor of technical mastery. His direct-to-fan business model, which includes the release of luxury merchandise like his official 2026 calendar, ensures he enters the new year with the resources to mount a world-class tour on his own terms. In a market like the USA, where entrepreneurial spirit is prized, Antoine's ability to thrive as an independent artist has made him a case study for success in the 21st century music economy. Beyond the High C and the Cinema of Resilience. A vital component of the 2026 buildup is the development of a feature-length documentary titled Beyond the High C. Directed by David J. Baird, the film aims to provide the most complete portrait of Antoine ever made, following his journey from a bullied child to an international tenor. The documentary is set for production in the 2023-2024 cycle and aims to tell a gripping, true story of unsurpassed resilience and courage. For the American audience, this documentary promises to be a deeply moving experience that highlights critical social issues like school bullying and the psychological toll of early fame. It features exclusive footage from his early BGT days and intimate insights into his 2022 autism diagnosis, humanizing the phenomenal voice and creating an emotional bridge for new fans. This cinematic venture serves as more than just a biography. It is a powerful promotional tool that deepens the audience's emotional investment in his 2026 world tour. By sharing his honesty, passion, extraordinary voice, and bravery, the film transforms every upcoming concert into a celebration of the human spirit's victory over adversity. As the 2026 album release approaches, Beyond the High C will provide the narrative backbone that ensures his music resonates far beyond the concert hall. This investigative reporter expects the film to be a major centerpiece of his global branding in the coming year. Conquering Broadway and the Mystery of July 2026. One of the most intriguing leaks our investigative team has uncovered is the mention of a choreographic collaboration scheduled for July 2026. While details are being kept under tight wraps, this signals a massive shift in Antoine's performance style, moving him from a static tenor to a dynamic stage performer. This pivot is expected to be the final preparation phase for a major theatrical debut on Broadway or the West End. The evidence of a theatrical move is mounting. On March 17, 2026, a new musical titled Rosie will have its gala premiere at the Adelphi Theatre in London, featuring Lucy Thomas and an original score by Chris Broom, a composer who has a long history of writing for Jonathan Antoine. Antoine's own history of performing musical theater masterpieces from Les Miserables, such as Empty Chairs at Empty Tables, has already proven his ability to command this specific genre. For the US market, a Broadway role would be the ultimate validation. Antoine has teased that his 10,000th chapter will involve all new opportunities that move his style further into the modern age without causing whiplash for his fans. Whether he chooses the bright lights of New York or the historic boards of London, the data indicates that July 2026 will mark the moment Jonathan Antoine definitively sheds his reality TV origins to become a true star of the professional stage. conquering international stages and the 2026 World Tour. The final piece of the 2026 puzzle is the massive world tour that fans across the USA have been demanding. While official dates are often the last piece of information to be released, major ticketing platforms like Stereoboard and Ticketmaster have already established waitlists for his 2025-2026 tour. In fact, Stereoboard is currently tracking over 1,200 fans who are signed up for show alerts, an indicator of huge latent demand. U.S. demand is particularly high in cities like West Palm Beach and St. Petersburg, FL, where his 2021 holiday tour was described by reviews as a Christmas wish come true. His PBS specials, particularly Jonathan Antoine in Concert, Going the Distance, have served as incredibly effective fundraising tools for public television stations across America, ensuring his voice remains a staple in American households. This global diplomacy has extended to Egypt, where he was invited to perform a tribute for composer Omar Khayrat, and Australia, where he participated in major carols events.
This international momentum ensures that his 2026 World Tour will be the most significant chapter of his professional life to date, marking his definitive arrival as a mature, independent, and sovereign titan of the modern vocal world. The paradigm is shifting, and the world is finally ready for the full weight of the Antoine legacy. In conclusion, the Jonathan Antoine heading into 2026 is an artist who has successfully navigated the pitfalls of sudden fame to build a legacy of integrity and mastery. From the high-fidelity sessions at Abbey Road to the heroic 120-pound weight loss and the profound advocacy for neurodiversity, every step has been a calculated movement toward this milestone year. Whether he chooses a return to classical roots or continues his shifting paradigm toward contemporary heights, the world is waiting with bated breath to hear him sing once more. For the Fantoines across the globe, the wait is nearly over, and the best years of the youngest UK #1 classical tenor are undoubtedly still ahead of him.